Welcome to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. Roejen over at Project Archivist sent me a message, within the last week, I think, and had sent me a link to a YouTube video or YouTube channel that has a movie uploaded on it, which I'm going to link to in the show notes, titled Seven. Now, you hear movie titled Seven, and of course you immediately think of the David Fincher film, but this is in fact a movie from 1979 that is the second feature directed by very well-known B-movie director Andy Sidaris, who has made features like Hard Ticket to Hawaii, Picasso Trigger, Savage Beach, among many others, and who I've talked about many times in the past because I love his movies, and in particular those three I just named are my favorites of his, although I probably now have to add this movie to that list because Seven is actually a far better movie than you would expect it to be for an Andy Sidaris picture. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, all those other movies, they're fun, but they're also very junky. I mean, you can tell what they are. It's Sidaris and his individual fetishes tumbled into a movie that is, barely held together outside of the fact that it looks like everybody's having a really fun time, which is perfectly good. Don't get me wrong. I didn't buy the Blu-rays of Picasso Trigger, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and Savage Beach just to prove a point. It's because I think they're actually really fun. But Seven feels like it is something a bit more than that. It actually comes across as a well-made B-movie action film. And I had read a review that said this feels like Sidaris trying to make his own James Bond picture and packing multiple Bond villains into one film. And honestly, that's a pretty good assessment of what it is. The basic premise is that on the island of Hawaii, of course, because Sidaris made almost all of his films, if not all of them, in Hawaii. At least all the ones I've seen have been in Hawaii. And, they jump back and forth, but there's at least one or 2 points where they're on Hawaii, and the big ones are on Hawaii. So on Hawaii, there are 7 villains, and these are villains with a capital V. These are basically, cartoonish, classic Western villains who might as well be twirling mustaches, just the evilest of the evil, no redeeming qualities, no attempt at depth, just capital B, capital P, bad people. And these 7 people are grouped together under the leadership of an individual named the Kahuna, and the government, seeing what they are trying to do, which is basically to devalue Hawaii by making it into a wasteland of crime, then buy everything up and control the island when it bounces back. Government goes to an individual who is known for being able to take care of problems and gives him $7 million at his demand to put together a crack team that can take down these villains, the 7, the titular 7. And so Drew, and I can't remember his last name, Savano maybe, goes around and puts together a crew, each one having a particular reason why they are going to be assigned to their individual villain. And these villains are taken down one at a time by their assigned, whatever you want to call it, team member. And basically the beginning of the movie is the setup. The middle is the explanation of each villain, their backstory, why this person's being assigned to them, and even to some degree, what method Drew wants to be used to take them out. And then the last third of the film is the execution of the big plan. And of course, there's the requisite little wrinkle in the plan that for 1 second makes you think they might fail, but of course they won't because this isn't that type of movie. And basically, it's a very fast-paced movie that, again, for an Andy Sidaris feature, is actually really good. And I mean really good. I think it works very well as a B-movie action film. Obviously, it has its limitations. You can see them, and it does have the required amount of gratuitous nudity and sometimes hilariously bad acting because Sidaris just got whoever he could get. And, he hadn't really established his stable of actors at this point. But even when he did, he was using basically people who were known more for their physiques than their ability to be thespians. And that's perfectly okay. But this movie feels like the closest to something that might have actually broken through on a bigger level. And apparently it didn't because I'd never heard of it before, and I haven't found that many other people have either. But it's actually seriously entertaining. I really would call this, it's not necessarily my favorite Sidaris film, but objectively, it might be the one he made that is the best made movie beginning to end that functions as a movie. That might really be true. So again, it's from 1979. It's called Seven. I'm going to link to the YouTube channel here. You should watch it because it's a lot of fun and I enjoyed it. Later.